My name's Sarah Jenkins, and welcome to the Beyond the Falls podcast. Today I have Jason Hoernke with Rush River Homes. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
And I'm excited. I mean, as a real estate agent, I feel like home building definitely comes up in conversations frequently, and you're an expert in the area, so I'm excited to have you on.
Thank you.
I like to start out by asking, what is your connection to River Falls?
So I came into the area in actually my senior year of high school. I got an opportunity to wrestle Minnesota-Wisconsin Classic as a senior, and just really enjoyed the area, and kind of always had it in my head that once I was out of college, I would find my way back to River Falls. So,
Where'd you go to college?
Mankato State.
And then you came back here,
Yep.
and you're...
Yep, been here ever since. Moved up to the Twin Cities right out of college, and about 3 years after college, met my wife, got married, and moved to River Falls. So,
Raising a family.
yes.
Here.
Yeah.
Awesome. What inspired you, or what was kind of what brought you to decide to become a home builder? Because you have a story.
Yeah. So I've always liked working my hands. Grew up on a dairy farm, so working physical work was something that was always attracted to me. Played all three sports through high school, so there was always something I needed to do physically to feel good about myself, and really had no idea what I wanted to do in college, and got pulled into the construction management program there and just stuck with it.
Tell me kind of the story that brought you from, I know you had another business and things like that, and here we are.
So for the past 20 years, I was partners in a large home building remodeling company over in the Twin Cities, and just decided that it wasn't the right fit for me for having a family in River Falls and doing as much traveling and stuff as we were doing on a daily basis, and just decided when my oldest was going to become a freshman that I needed a new start, and just started a company here in the River Falls area. So
I love it. So your business doesn't just cover, your Rush River Homes, but you're not just building homes, you also renovate. So what's kind of the scope of projects you can handle?
Pretty much anything. So I've the previous company that we ran had a lot of different entities to it. Had exterior work, again, the remodeling, the new homes, mitigation, just kind of the whole realm of residential construction. So very knowledgeable in all those areas, and willing to take on pretty much any project that fits that fits within the scope of things that I want to continue to do.
Yeah, so. Awesome. Okay, so now I want to talk more about the home building process.
Yeah.
Because I would say when I sit down with clients, they have no idea where to start, and usually most times they don't have land, and we're starting from like scratch. But say you already have a piece of property, say it's on acreage. What does that process look like? So they own the land, they come meet with you. What's it look like, Jason?
There's a couple different things. There's a couple different paths. The path that I deal with a lot of clients on is I set them up with an architect that I feel best fits their personality, their wants, and the functionality of the type of home that they want. Through that process, they figure out, budget-wise where they want to be. There's a lot of time involved in that. That can be anywhere from a 6-month process to even an 18-month process, depending on, a plan gets produced. It then goes out for bid to get budgets put on it. At that point, they may realize that that price is much higher than what they're willing to do budget-wise, and then they change that plan until they get to the point that they like what they've got functionality-wise, but it's also within their budget.
Yep.
So there are also some builders, I am not currently one of them, that's also considered a design build, where that process can happen in-house.
Sure.
But like I said, one way or the other, that coming up with that plan that you want, whether it's a custom home, it's a home that's a plan that's never been produced before, or it's more of the volume builder type home. You may lose some things that you really want functionality or that your heart's set on, but you already know what the price is on that. It's a developed plan, and usually it's a much quicker process in that initial design process. So
yeah. After you've got the design, you break ground. What does the timeline look like? Say you're just building, I don't know. I don't even know if I want, like, your average, one-story home in River Falls.
Average one-story home. Once we get to the point that we're breaking ground, there are some weather factors that put themselves in it. It depends on if it's a winter build. Say the foundation goes in October. At that point, you're looking at, in an average home, about 4 to 4.5 months with a winter build. In a spring start where we can get through drywall without putting temp heat in the home, and then moving forward, you can get them around 3.5 to 4 months.
Okay.
So you gain about 3-4 weeks depending on what time you're starting the home at.
Okay. What would you say with today's market? What's the biggest challenge for you as a home builder?
Biggest challenge is really the interest rates, of course. Everybody's really conscious about where that interest rate is, and always, waiting, just trying to make a decision whether they should wait and see if that market interest rate goes down or just move forward, and then just overall material pricing.
Yeah.
Things are constantly going up, and it just makes it hard to get people in the budget that they want to be and give them the house they want at the same time.
Do you feel like, I don't know, how frequently does this happen where you get all your numbers back? You go, here client, here are your numbers, and then materials change. And then you're like, oh wait, okay.
It happens a lot.
Yeah.
The commodities market with lumber, shingles, drywall, when we get the pricing for that particular home, it's only good for 30 to 45 days. At that point, if you haven't signed contracts, the price can go up, and it's always subject to change. So yeah, it's a challenge.
So really, as a buyer, you don't, or a potential client of yours, you don't want to be wishy-washy necessarily. You kind of want to really have something set in mind so you can move forward, take the proper steps, and stay within that budget.
Yep.
What would you say is the most rewarding part of your job?
Most rewarding part is showing those clients the finished product at the end. There's a lot of meetings that we do throughout the process of construction. We do a pre-construction orientation out on the lot that the home's going to be built on. We also do an electrical walk, a drywall walk once drywall's in and complete. And so basically every milestone, there is a set meeting that we make sure that we're in the home, walking with the clients, making sure that we've captured everything that they want. Sometimes what they view as what they want and what the plan shows is not always consistent, so having them in the home, walking with them, talking them through things is an easy way to capture a bunch of those things that the plan just didn't quite get that they were wanting.
Yeah. This is totally like if you watch HGTV or whatever, I don't know. What's your favorite trend that you're seeing right now? Like, as you're meeting with people and you're renovating and things like that.
I'm kind of into the things that people maybe they don't think is really the cool things in the home. A lot of it has to do with your options for geothermal. A lot of the heating systems, a bunch of the plumbing equipment that's now in the market. There's just some really cool things out there as far as energy efficiency and being able to have long-term functionality in your home. So,
which is nice because you don't want to build a house and have to replace something within like 5 years. So that's awesome. And it's nice to know that you're so knowledgeable on each of those areas.
Yeah.
What do you like most about specifically being in River Falls? Now that I know you, I remember you traveling all over the place.
Yes.
So
it's just a better connection with the community that I'm a part of. Being able to actually build homes, do remodels and things that are just based on this side in Wisconsin, around the River Falls area, up through Richmond and the rest of those areas. It's just I get to see the things that I've done on a more regular basis. So it's really rewarding on that. It's also really rewarding to actually be able to do work for people that I know through parents of sports and my kids' friends' families and parents and things. So it's just a lot more rewarding being in the area.
Yeah. Now you mentioned community involvement.
Yes.
I know you're super involved with the wrestling program out here. Just tell us a little bit about your role with that.
Well, so I actually was I wrestled in college to kind of set the stage. Once out of college, I really didn't get involved in wrestling for a while. I had gotten injured and was kind of a little bit burnt out with the sports side of things.
It's a tough sport.
And as soon as our oldest was born, and he got to be about 4 years old, I kind of figured it wasn't about myself at that point, and just really got involved with the River Falls area with wrestling and the flag football and baseball and all that stuff. So on the wrestling side, I'll probably continue to be involved well past my kids being out of sports and out of the River Falls community area. But it's just super involved with wrestling. Sit on the booster club. I'm a middle school wrestling coach. Just lots of things, and I don't even have a child in middle school right now. So it's been enjoyable. It's been very enjoyable.
That's awesome, and thank you for
thank you
for that. As we're kind of wrapping up, is there anything that maybe I didn't touch on, or you want to talk more about renovations and things like that?
So I think one of the important things that we lose in kind of the process of a new home in particular is we're kind of a society of instant results. Taking the time in the front half and really meeting with your architect and being very, very transparent about more so the things you don't like than the things that you like will create a much better experience and at the end of that build that it is truly something that you want to be in and live in. It really makes a big difference in the process. The other thing is really allowing yourself to purchase and be willing to put in things in your home that are of much better quality than just trying to cut budgets. And I see it a lot. The first thing that gets cut in a home is the make and model of the windows. Windows are one of the most important things in the home. That's never a spot that you want to cut a price on to try to get to the budget. Things like square footages and things like that are a much better way of getting down to that price point that you want. I've seen it a lot where we build a new home, we've put in a much lower grade window than what that home deserves, and in 10 years your windows are shot. They just don't perform as well as some of the higher end windows do.
Is that one of those things you would say you get what you pay for?
Oh, 100%.
With windows?
100%. There's a lot of window manufacturers out there, and there's a lot of good windows that are out there in the market. But yeah, the higher cost of windows definitely perform at a much better rate. Windows are something that should be in your home for 50 years, I feel.
Yeah.
And never have to replace them. So, I mean, you really get what you pay for when it comes to things like that.
Yeah, that's good. And good advice on if you're not hitting your budget, whittling down on the square footage is
completely
an approach, and
Yep.
I like that rather than
Yes, and you know, it's everybody's out there to make money in the industry. We wouldn't be in this industry if we weren't making money. But the more complete your plan is in the beginning, and not having an extreme amount of change orders in the process, will actually save you more money in the end. Because change orders, of course, cost more as a change order while you're in the construction process than if those things were actually in the plan to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that it's a real quick and easy way to stay much closer to your budget. The average home, especially at the level that I had been building for the last 20 years, you would average about a 10% overage from time of the plan and the numbers being put on paper to the completion of the home, and a lot of those just came through change orders.
Sure.
So, or unrealistic allowances, and that's another thing. I mean, there's a lot of numbers, lights, flooring, things that you go out and pick in the process. Builders will put an allowance down on paper on the contract, and just having good conversations about, okay, knowing what level, if your thing is lights, maybe $5,000 or $5,800 isn't enough for your home. Maybe that one needs to be $14,000.
Yeah.
If that's truly what your thing is, we need to have realistic allowances right in the beginning to better portray and stay closer to your budget at the completion of the job.
Yeah.
So things like that.
Yeah, totally makes sense too, that getting that all squared away up front makes for a smoother process and a probably more even keel budget in the end. And
correct. And just a better experience.
Yeah.
That's one of the things with home building is it's it's one of the most stressful things you can do as a family.
Yep.
It's your biggest investment that you'll make, and maybe you do that several times in your life. But the more easier that process is, and becomes more enjoyable, and it doesn't need to be as stressful as a lot of times that it is.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here and sharing your knowledge with us. And we'll see you on the next episode of Beyond the Falls.